Man, I really need to fix my hair. Good thing I scheduled myself a haircut today, so yeah, I'm losing this today. Look how long this is. I need to, I really need a haircut, folks. And surprisingly, I'm actually not as tired as I ought to be, considering what I, seriously, whenever I do like a movies, it's definitely a really relatively late night for me. But I'm surprisingly not as tired as I feel as I should be. I don't know, it's weird. So yeah, it's Friday. Yes, we are at Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And this is for those, again, I should probably make this PSA right now before I forget, which I actually have done a couple times at this point. Sorry, I was about to yawn, but then I stopped myself from doing that. Again, if you practice the Christian or Catholic faith, this is the second to last Friday before you will be able to have meat on Fridays. And next week will be the last one, and then Lent starts a week later, and you won't be able to have meat on Fridays until late April. So, get your fix in now. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, I too am going to be sad when I will not be able to have meat on Fridays myself, but at least I did what I tried to do. And in the end, that is all that matters. So with that out of the way, that episode of Hot Ones yesterday was probably one of the funniest I think I've ever seen. The kid Mero, he probably has one of the most contagious laughs I've ever heard. Like, in the top 10 most contagious laughs I've ever heard, ever. Right up there with this one swimmer girl I knew back from Horseheads and the Ultimate Trinity Poly fanboy. Is that contagious? But don't take my word for it. I'm going to put a link in the description down below or up top or whatever social media platform you happen to be watching this on. Or if you're clicking on a link, maybe to this video, the link will probably be there as well. So basically, Jesus and Mero, their show is actually their show came back is what it was. That's why they were on Hot Ones. Literally yesterday, last night. In fact, odds are, had I not go to see How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I don't know if I do have Showtime. I would need to look that up. But chances are I would probably take the opportunity to try and watch it if the opportunity had presented itself. So there's that. Again, Rita's unfortunately was not opening today. It was another Rita's location that's opening, which, makes sense. Some Rita's locations open on like Valentine's Day or something, so I'm not entirely, sad about it. Although, speaking of things that are around too early, I have already seen St. Patrick's Day stuff at like different stores, which I personally have something for getting ready for St. Patrick's Day myself, but I'm actually going to wait until March, as that's when that month actually begins. Man. Why am I tired? I should not be tired by this. To be honest, I'm kind of, I'm not bumming per se. I mean, I kind of expected this to happen eventually, but, after so many chapters of One Piece, there needs to be a week break. So, I actually just finished reading this week's chapter before realizing that there's going to be a break. And, of course, something really cool happens right as the chapter ends, but then One Piece will be on break for the next week. I'm like, no! So now it's going to be March 7th, March 8th when the next chapter comes out. Which is really sad because if a chapter came out to coincide with when Rita's opened, I guess you could say I would have been able to have my ice and eat it too. Even though I'm going to be eating ice anyway. So, honestly, again, no spoilers, but there were several pages I read during that chapter where I'm just like laughing because of how funny and silly some of it is. And then, again, not to give anything away, but one character is like, oh, I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to. I was only able to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And then one's like, you're so incredibly competent! So, yeah, you guys, I mean, I'll put a link in the description of the next chapter, which, you know, take it in because, again, it's not going to be until we're well into March until the next chapter arrives, which, again, does have me bumming. Also, the chapter did present one sort of thing that, again, I don't want to give away. Would you guys say it's by birth or capability that would define the leader of a group? I don't know. I mean, personally, I was leaning toward one sort of situation, but then another situation sort of happened. Again, it's hard to describe this without giving away spoilers, and I don't want to do that because, you know, I don't want to give away spoilers. That's just what I do. Again, you know, you guys are going to have access to the link. So, yeah. In terms of what's going on this weekend, you know, we have the Alliance of American Football. I'm definitely going to be watching those games. Can't wait. It's still a little early for me to make my picks yet because I'd rather do it on like the day that the games are going to happen. With that said, you know, luckily I do have the link saved as to when the games are and what channel they're on. I mean, it's been a while since I've actually looked myself, but it seems that the night games are always going to be on NFL Network, which, if you have NFL Network, you know, more power to you. You know, that's definitely super nice. But, you know, if you don't, then, I mean, I guess you can watch the highlights, I guess. I mean, I was actually pretty blessed last week, and I got lucky, and I was able to watch, you know, all 4 games. Again, it really is something. They were making a really big deal. Like, last weekend, it was the first time in 20 years that they had football on TNT. Which, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, it's the end, or the beginning of a new era, perhaps. I want to say end of an era, but that sort of implies it's something sad, which, something like that can't really be that sad, can it? Well, it shouldn't anyway. Has anything else going on this weekend? I don't really know. Unfortunately, we're sort of in that limbo of weekends in the beginning of the year where it's sort of starting to get warmer, and it is starting to get, you know, brighter earlier, or the sun is setting later, depending on what you want to see it as. Basically, days are longer, is what I'm trying to get at. But we're still not quite ready to be, like, out and about. Which, you know, I feel that way sometimes too, and I'm sure everybody else feels that way to some capacity. You know, it's only natural. I do suppose I could probably look up like some events like seriously, like on the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, apparently Elmira is going to try and break like a world record for like the largest human shamrock, as in like a group of people getting together to form a shamrock. So if you were to look at it from above, it would look like a shamrock. I might actually participate in that. I don't know. I want to hear like more information about that first. It looks like fun though. And, you know, it would be a fantastic way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Outside of, you know, the usual stuff that I would do, which is wear green and relax. And there's other things I could do that really are not, I don't really do or care for myself. But a lot of people do, so who am I to judge? Although I would like to make an opportunity to say this now before I forget. On the weekend of St. Patrick's Day, because even though St. Patrick's Day is on Sunday, a lot of people probably do a lot of celebrating on Saturday night. If anyone needs some sort of designated driver, I am definitely available to do that. Because I kind of care about you guys' safety. For those of you who actually want to, go out and party on St. Patrick's Day. And if anything bad would happen to you, it's possible you may not be able to watch these videos. So there you go. It all comes full circle. Oh, boy. I don't know, this week went by really fast. Like, really fast. At least it felt that way to me. I don't know, maybe it's just sort of, it really is on a matter of perspective. I'd love to be able to see if, maybe, I love to hope that the weekend would go by slow, but it's only that only happens if you're doing something truly not fun, which does tend to happen. I mean, as someone who used to wrestle, as someone who wrestled in high school, even though I did love wrestling, the all-day tournaments on Saturday really did last all day. Seriously, we'd get there at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be there until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. And then there was the drive back home. But, it was fun. The best ones were the ones at Lake and Binghamton and stuff, because Owego has this one combination KFC A&W. So you could literally get yourself some KFC and a root beer float, which is awesome. That was always the best. Of course, this is back in my day. Oh no. I'm not 30 yet, and I'm starting to talk like an old man. Someone help me! Anyway, back at the time when I was at Horseheads, the two best big wrestling schools were Shenango, Forks, and Johnson City, and the best small schools were Waverly and actually, what small school else was there outside of Waverly? I really don't know the answer to that. But, yeah. Funny enough, though, it was my junior year where Shenango, Forks, and Waverly were number 1 in New York State for both big schools and small schools, respectively. And there's actually this one dual meet tournament where, the best, wrestling high schools from the state gather together. And Waverly and Shenango Forks met in the finals, and Waverly won. I would say it's sort of a David and Goliath type scenario where the small school beat the big school, but really it's not really a matter of size of the individuals. It's really the size of the schools because, student population, whatever. See, back when I was at Horseheads, and I said this way back when I started doing these videos, my graduating class was like 400 some people. It was pretty big. Altogether, no, not 400. It was somewhere between 300 and 400. I forget the exact number. I would need to look up like one of my yearbooks to figure that out. But yeah, only to then go to Trinity Powling, which that number was brought down by maybe even like a fifth of that. I don't know. I need to look that up. But I should probably get done before I continue to ramble on about stuff that you guys probably don't care about anymore. So, on that note, please like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I'm very humble that I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Friday, which kicks off a wonderful weekend. And remember, for you guys who want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.